So considering that we've already looked at special right triangles, there's two of those, a 30-60-90 and a 45-45-90, we can actually use that knowledge along with putting these angles on an XY axis to find the exact values of certain trig ratios. So if we look at cosine of 135, the first thing we need to do is draw an angle of 135 degrees in standard position. Initial side is on the positive x-axis. We will rotate counterclockwise, so 135 degrees would be right about there, halfway between 90 and 180. We need to convert this into a triangle, so to do that, we always will join the terminal side to the x-axis, whether that's up or down. Creates a right angle. Since this is a 45-45-90 triangle, we know the relationships between the sides. This bottom side is x, the left side is also x, and the hypotenuse is x root 2. And again, we know these relationships because this is a special triangle that we looked at in 10.2. We do need to make one allowance here. Since we put this triangle on an xy axis, we need to allow for the positives and negatives. So the x along the bottom is actually on the negative side of the x-axis, so it will actually be negative x. The left side is on the positive side of the y-axis, so it can stay positive x. And the hypotenuse. It is to the left and up, so there's some confusion about whether that should be positive or negative. The rule with the hypotenuse is that it is always positive, no matter what. So now we can look at finding the exact value of cosine 135. So we need cosine. Going back, we need to remember SOHCAHTOA. It's SOHCAHTOA. And what that means is for the SOH piece, sine of theta equals opposite over the hypotenuse, cosine of theta equals adjacent over the hypotenuse, and tangent of theta equals opposite over the adjacent. So you know that cosine is adjacent over the hypotenuse. The angle that we're looking for will always be the angle here in the middle by the origin. So our theta is 135, since that's the angle we drew. The adjacent side is the one that's right beside the angle that's not the hypotenuse, that's negative x. Hypotenuse is x root 2. We can simplify this, we can cancel out the x's, so we're left with negative 1 over root 2. But remembering back to the work that we did with radicals, we're never allowed to leave a root on the bottom of any fraction. So to accommodate this, we're going to multiply the top and the bottom by root 2. So on the top, that gives us negative root 2. On the bottom, that would give us root 4. But square root of 4 we can actually take and just get 2. So the exact value of cosine 135 is negative root 2 over 2.